All right, my friends, so we are back with another Stripe tutorial. If you haven't checked out any of my other videos where I walk you through the ins and outs of using Stripe for your business, and you are a healing arts practitioner starting your business or wanting to learn more about Stripe, then you are in the right place. And you also want to make sure to check out those other videos because I dive even deeper into all this stuff. All right, in this video, we are going to be covering invoices. We've already created a product. We've already created a payment link. And now we are going to create an invoice. So inside of our Stripe dashboard, make sure to have your test mode set on. Again, just gives you an opportunity to practice so that you're not doing this in live mode. Over on the left hand side, we are going to find the more button. Let's go ahead and select more. And now we are going to select our invoices section. Okay, so in order to create an invoice, you need to have already created your product and you need to have already created a customer. All right, so let's go ahead and select invoices. And we are going to create a test invoice, as you can see here at the top right hand corner. And now the first thing that it's going to ask us is to identify our customer that we want to invoice. I already have my customer set up right here. I'm going to select my customer that I'm going to invoice. Now for items, again, you want to make sure that you already have your product created, or you can go ahead and select here, create a new product or add a one-time item. All right, so I'm going to select my product on this one. They are going to purchase one. Let's go ahead and hit save. You do have, it looked like you had the option there to save and add another if you were charging them for multiple things. Okay, so you do have that option there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hit save. If you're doing shipping, obviously you can select shipping. If there is a coupon that you have already created and you're giving them a discount, you can go ahead and do that there. Taxes, I'm not sure if you're doing taxes. If you are, make sure to consult a tax advisor on how to do that properly. Down here at the bottom, we want to select what our payment methods that we are going to accept via this invoice. So I do like ACH credit transfer, card, obviously cash, Apple Pay, that's fine. ACH direct debit, I love that one. WeChat Pay, I don't know about WeChat Pay. I don't know who uses that. I'm going to deselect that one just so that it's not an option. You do have the option to select other payment methods if you wanted to go in here, maybe like Google Pay or anything like that that you want to include inside of your invoice options, your payment options. You do have the option also to just auto charge the customer, so they'll still get the invoice, but if you have their payment details already on file, it can just automatically charge them without you having to wait for them to pay the invoice on their own. So you do have that option there, but again, you have to already have the payment method on file for that customer. Okay, so the email invoice to customer. Absolutely, you want to email the invoice to the customers as well. Okay, so then it's going to give you that option to email it to them, and you want to include the link to the online payment page also. So make sure that you have that one selected. Okay, so that's what's going to take them to this invoice right here. Now for the memo, I definitely recommend putting a memo. So you can put something like, thank you for purchasing our subscription, something like that. Just again reminding them of what it is that they're paying for, and that is going to show up right there, as you can see that right there. Okay, so you can be obviously a little bit more descriptive. Just for the sake of time, I'm just keeping it very simple. Make sure you input that memo. A lot of you guys will a lot of times people will get lazy on this stuff and half-ass it and not realize the importance of it. So the footer down here, down below, what you can do here in the footer, this one could be something like, thank you for your business, with love and gratitude, the Healing Tree Collective. And this is just again, you can customize this to however you like, and this is going to show up down here at the bottom. All right, so I like that. Again, being able to personalize your email, your invoices is super important. Custom fields, you can ignore that one. That one is not going to be relevant for you. And then PDF page size, you can change this from A4 to letter. You can just leave that as is. And then what you can do is you can also create a template out of this. If you already, if this is going to be pretty standard, what you would include in the memo down here in the footer, If you can create something that is a little bit more general that will cover all of your offerings, you can create a template out of this, and this way you don't have to do it every single time that you create a invoice. All right, so now what this will look like, you can go ahead and preview these options. You can see this in the invoice PDF. You can see this in the email and how that's going to look. It's really cool because if you have the ACH or wire transfer option selected, it's going to give them your ACH bank details so that they can go ahead and do that. All right, so then they'll give that option to pay the invoice. Over here in the payment page, this is what that link that I told you, this one here, this is what that will look like when people click on that link from that email. So that's what that'll look like. All right, so let's go ahead and review invoice. And you can send this invoice to, you can test this invoice, send it so that you can also just look at it and see how it's going to look on your own. You can go through it on your own. It's not actually going to charge you. This is in test mode. But then it just gives you that extra step for you to confirm that everything is all clear. All right, so I'm not going to send this one. I'm just going to go ahead and select that one. And then we are all set. So now we can go back into our invoices section. You can see that we have our invoice right there. It's still in draft because we didn't actually send it. All right, so let me see here. Let's go back into it. What we can do is we can go ahead and send the invoice. I am going to send it to this email here, send test invoice. You can go ahead and CC anything if you wanted to. And now when we go back, it should be open now since it was already sent to the customer. All right, so that'll take it out of the draft. All right, so here I'm giving you a little preview of what that looks like when I actually send it to myself. It's going to show up as a test, new invoice from the Healing Tree Collective. This is what all of that looks like. It's going to give you, like I said, it's going to give you all the bank information down here, the option to pay, and then it also gives them the PDF invoice for them to keep for their records. Okay, so definitely recommend sending the PDF as well. All right, so now when we go back into, I'm going to go ahead and refresh this, and I'm going to see if Stripe will show you when it was actually viewed. So it doesn't show you that it was viewed, doesn't track that for you. Inside it, when we click on our invoices, it gives you a little bit more data as to when it was sent, when it was finalized, probably because it was a test email. Check it out for yourself when you send invoices to your customers to see if Stripe actually shows you if it was opened from them, because that's really neat for you to know if they've opened the invoice and they're, if they haven't paid it. All right, so it gives you a lot more information down below as you scroll down. Any notes, anything like that, any of the log events. This is all like code stuff that you don't really need to know. But if you wanted to just see a little bit more information from your invoice, you can go ahead and see that here when you click inside of the invoice. All right, my friends, so that covers invoices. In previous videos, I walked you through navigating the dashboard of Stripe. I walked you through setting up your products. I walked you through setting up a payment link. I walked through manually setting up a customer, showing you and navigating you through all the business details, the account details, and all that. And in this video, we got to the final part, which was setting up your invoices. All right, so I covered all the main things that are going to pertain to you and your business as a healing arts practitioner. In the next video, I am going to cover one last step where I'm going to walk you through setting up a custom domain. All right, so I've talked about this in the first video. It's important for you to create a custom domain for your business. And if you haven't, it costs you $15, $20 at the very max for you to have a custom domain, because it's a super important feature for you to plug into Stripe. It gives you brand recognition, brand value when you're sending out your link to your customers. And it also provides you with extra security from Stripe, okay? They want to make sure that you are a legit business and you are operating a legit business. And they want to verify, and that is one of the things that they can verify your business with, is by using a custom domain. All right, so make sure to check out that video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.